Being an organized collector has some awesome benefits, but it also has some drawbacks and some challenges along the way that you have to deal with. In this video, I'm going to be going over what I feel is the #1 downside / challenge of being a organized video game collector. Alright, so here is one of my video game walls. If you follow the channel, you know, and you can check out my video game tour, my game room tours, but I keep everything organized, alphabetized by system, by generation for the most part. So this is primarily my Sega wall. I have another wall that has a lot of my Nintendo stuff on it. But I have Master System, Genesis, Sega CD, 32X, Saturn, Dreamcast, 3DO, PS2, original Xbox, Nintendo GameCube, and Nintendo Wii U is down here. This is also my Game Gear collection here. It's a near complete Game Gear collection. My PS1 collection, my R-Zone collection, my complete Gamecom collection, my N-Gage collection, and my Neo Geo Pocket Color collection. And then across the top I have, you know, various Sega systems, accessories, things like that. The second to last row at the bottom, on that side, has my PSP games. On this side just has some of my DVD movies. And the bottom row has all of my HD DVDs, which is around 60% of the full set for HD DVDs. One of the challenges here is, well, let's talk about advantage first. Advantage, easy to find any game. If I want to play a Master System game, I immediately know it's up here at the top. Not only are they color coded, but I know based on generation where to go to get the game. Very easy. The problem comes when you pick up a game. So I've picked up recently off of Facebook a copy of My Hero, the game card. And I need to put it up here. However, if you look, I am completely filled up from Master System all the way down to the third to last row down here where my Wii U ends. So putting this in here is a challenge. Now if I zoom in a little bit here, or if you notice, I actually have a spot here where I've got some other Sega CD cards. Easily fits there. However, it's no longer alphabetized. That's a problem for me. So this is S's. I have Sports Pad Football, Spy vs. Spy, and Super Tennis are both game cards. And so that is definitely a problem. So what I have to do, just to put this one game in place, I have to shift everything over by one game. Because if we take a look where My Hero would go in between Monopoly and Ninja. But it won't fit. It fits right before it, but that won't stay because that's a divider between game cases. So, the adventure begins. We now need to take all these games, shift them over just by one to fit one of these. It's not even a full-size case. It's the Sega card cases, which are actually a little bit thinner than a DVD case. So I need to shift everything over, but I can't just shift one disc over. I've got all these CD-based games, right? Those are easy to shift them all over one to accommodate this. But then once I get here, I actually need to shift this over, which is actually the width of about 2 DVD cases. And so that will allow me to shift everything over. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to move everything over by 2 discs. So it'd be 2 DVD case equivalents, 1 cartridge case equivalent. So we just basically shift these over, and we do this. I've done this quite a bit, so I'm relatively used to it. Typically, I like to try to do these in bulk. So I will, normally I'm not on one game at a time. Normally I do a monthly pickups video on this channel. And so normally I would take all those monthly pickups and put them all in place at that one time to kind of alleviate, you know, doing this, let's say every other day, or, you know, whenever I'm picking up games. Because it is tedious, and, you know, it will put wear and tear on these cases over time. And I do have them alphabetized the full length of the wall. So once I get to the end, I grab those two, bring them down there, and start shifting down on this side now. And today I'm just doing one. Pray within the next month or so, I have a lot of games that I have not cased yet that I'll be doing a lot more. So I just kind of want to show you guys what it's like, you know, being a larger game collector and, you know, trying to keep all your games organized. Now, obviously space is a limitation as well, but my recommendation to anybody that is thinking about, you know, collecting a large amount, such as this, I would, if you have the space, put empty cases in between here. So you could just pull an empty case out and put in the game. And so, let's see here. Pull this down. Definitely recommend doing that. That will save you, you know, all this time. You'll be able to just, you know, so if I had an empty case right here and needed to put a game in, I'd just pull it out, put the other one in there. I know some collectors, they will put their empty cases like this to let them know that's where an empty spot is. I don't do that just because I collect for so many systems. Having that many spots open or filled would be crazy. I tend to just, you know, fill them as I go. And these are the Elite Towers. For anybody wanting to know what cases I use, or what shelving I use. You can get it at Amazon. You can also get it at Best Buy. They're relatively about the same price. One unit is this width here. So if you look, basically 3 segments here. That's 1 unit. They work very well. They're a perfect size for these game cases. They do not fit long box cases. So if you notice, all my Dreamcast game, or all my Saturn games rather, are in these custom game cases. Standard DVD case with reprinted artwork, and that's mainly to save the space. I don't need separate shelving and that. Alright, so we're over to the Sega CD one now. So now we should be able to just fit this one in here, which we're good. Now we can shift the 32Xs over case at a time. And then we've got our Sega CDs, which will be 2 again. And then these have room for the full-size cases, apart from long boxes, and then 1 row for CD-size cases. So these fit the Nintendo DS cases real well, and obviously the PlayStation cases, or the Dreamcast cases. My Dreamcast games I put in custom game cases, similar to Saturn, because there's a lot of demo discs and like the Dreamcast magazine discs, things like that, that I like to have cased, and I didn't want just the sleeves for those. So that's a big reason why I put everything in custom game cases, so that they all look uniform. Alright, so we're over to Genesis. And I am nearing a complete Genesis game, getting closer and closer on that. I think I still have about 150 games left for the Genesis. It may seem like a lot, I'm going to say 150, but when you look at how much I have, it's pretty crazy to think that I'm getting really close to that Genesis complete set. And unfortunately, I have the most expensive games already. So most of the games I'm missing are actually sports titles, things like tennis games, things like that I've been keeping an eye out for. Also really close on the Game Gear set. I think I'm about 20 off on Game Gear at this point. And I am 23 off on Master System. So getting real close on some of the Sega sets, which is great. I do already have a complete 32X set and also a complete Pico set. I have collector's guides on those on my channel. If you haven't checked those out, be sure to check those out. I also have a buyer's guide on the Pico, where I go over what I deem the top 5 games for the Pico. There's only 20 games released in the US for that system. But I kind of go over what I feel are the top 5 playable games. Considering it was an edutainment system, those types of systems are really hard to find playable games, but there are a few that are really fun and educational for that system. So if you haven't checked out that video, if you have kids or you have a Pico, definitely check that out. Alright, we're getting close. We're at the top shelf now. And for me, this is a shelf I have to be most careful with, just because everything up here, so when you pull an insert, you're causing a little bit of motion on the shelf. And so some of these will tend to rock back and forth. You just got to be careful that they don't fall and hit you. Everything up here is complete in box. So some of the stuff is pretty heavy. So you just got to be careful with that. Alright, we're getting close here. So got this game over here. And we're looking for the My Hero spot. So we're going to go ahead and kick these down. Here's our Monopoly, so we can pull Monopoly that way. Grab the My Hero game. And we can finally put it in place. And now, it's a little bit loose here because we really have double capacity, but we had no way to fill that void. So, it's okay. We'll just kind of center that. And that's it. So we now have My Hero put in place. But basically every time I get a game, that's kind of what I have to go through. Like I said, I try to do them more in batches. So what I'll typically do is I get a game, I log it in my inventory, basically is ordered whenever I order it. And I'll be covering this in a future video, but I log it as ordered. And then once I get it, if it's loose, I go ahead and create a case for it, get it all cased, and then I have a staging area where I set it in, and then I use that to do my monthly pickups video for the month. And then once that's done, the video's done, I set some time away either on a Saturday or a Sunday, and I go ahead and put them on the shelf. So in this video I just covered one game, putting that away, but you know, typically I'm doing 10 to 20 whenever I'm putting these away, which is what I do in typical pickups in a month. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Drop me a comment below. Let me know, are you an organized game collector? If so, do you do something similar? Do you put in fillers so that you don't have to go through this, pushing in order to, get them in the correct spot? Definitely let me know how you guys do it. I'm interested to hear how other collectors are kind of storing their items. Thanks for watching.